What if I show you the exact study strategy I use to transform myself as an average college student to an exceptional student who is now talking to thousands of students all over Nigeria, inspiring them with my exact study tips and strategies. This is not just record science, these are stuff that I did and it was wonderful and memorable that I did it because I turned a new leaf overnight from just being a normal student, being an average student in the class, to becoming an excellent and exceptional student. And you too can do it if you watch this video to the end and apply all the tips I'm going to drop in this video. My name is Basi Ejogba. I'm a 400 level student at the University of Calabar studying medical laboratory science, and in my channel I help students level up their academic game. I share full tips on the channel focusing on personal development. So if you love content like this, please don't forget to hit on the red subscribe button so I can continue getting updates anytime I drop videos like this, and so that you can help me grow. And just like I've said, I'm going to show you step-by-step way you can be able to transform yourself from an average student in your class. You know, a lot of people are average. Average simply means getting C, D, E. You are not getting F actually, but you are not getting the A's and the B's. You understand? So you are simply an average. So number one is that I discovered that I was not actually time blocking myself. I was not tracking my time. You understand? I was just doing things the way I want to do it without actually discipline, without time management. You understand? Now, the thing is, anything you can be able to manage, you understand? Anything you can be able to manage can be arranged. You understand what I mean? So, being able to manage my time made me arrange my academic comeback. You understand? So you know, getting admission into the university was something of fun, and it was something that a lot of us were not actually knowing how it's going to look like, right? So we were just wasting our time doing stuff, extracurricular activities and stuff like that, until I got to find out that I am turning to becoming an average student in the class. You understand? So I started tracking my time for everything I do. I started blocking out my time. I prepared my study timetable, and I said, okay, 2 hours for my study. Okay, this is it. Like, I started managing my time effectively. You know, so I started tracking out my time, and check out where I spend my time in, take out the stuff that was taking my time, how productive I was when I was doing it. You understand? So number one way was that I started tracking my time. I not be able to explain it well to you, but just know that I started tracking my time. I started checking out where I was, what was actually taking my time, whether it was productive or not. Secondly was that I switched from passive learning to active learning. You understand? Because like I said, if you have been watching my video, I wasn't performing so well in my year 2 first semester when the result came out, despite the fact that I was spending hours studying. What I was just doing back then was what was known as the passive learning. So the passive learning was I was actually studying, but I was not involving the active learning, which means you are very active in what you are doing. You understand? So the active learning is, there are a lot of active learning techniques, right? From the name active learning technique, it means you are not just learning, but you are learning actively. Number one is the space repetition, right? The space repetition is studying more in less time. So instead of me now spending hours studying, I was studying more in less time. That means, like, that time I used to spend like 5 hours studying, I started studying for less, like 2 hours, 3 hours daily, and I was still understanding what I was doing. So the space repetition is like saying, okay, I decided to spreading out my studies. So let's say I study particular topic. Let's say I studied right, gametogenesis. Let's use medical terms. Okay, let me break it down to like photosynthesis in biology, right? If I study my photosynthesis in biology on Monday, I will space out my Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, I will get back to study my photosynthesis. But this particular time, I am not just going to study it from ground zero. What I'm doing there is to review it. Then on Friday, which I've spaced my Thursday, on my Friday, I'll still come back to study the photosynthesis. But at this particular time, I'll be giving myself practice questions, right? I'll be trying to test myself on different questions relating to photosynthesis and biology. Thirdly is that I made to studying part of my life routine, right? So I made studying part of my life routine where I cannot stay a day without studying. I started making studying something that I don't just relent. I don't just rely on motivation to study. Studying becomes something I do from within. You understand? Because when you wait for motivation, motivation will always fade. You understand? Motivation will always die off, but your ability to discipline yourself and be consistent in your study will really help you turn from an average student to an exceptional student in your class. And also, like I said, the active learning, right? Talked about the active learning already, which is the Feynman's technique, the space repetition. I've been making videos, a lot of videos on these techniques. We have the famous technique, we have the space repetitions, we have the Pomodoro technique, we have the active recall. So I'll be making a lot of videos on this particular study techniques. If you need me to break them down, just drop it in the comment section and I will see how I can be able to break them down. And lastly was that how I was able to change from just being an average student in my class to an exceptional academic weapon or academic beast. Was that I changed my mindset. You understand? I had to forgive myself for what happened. You understand? Because there's no need of dwelling in the past actually. So I had to change my mindset, and I believe, like I said, I already told people that motivation will surely fade away. You understand? I wasn't just depending on motivation. I wasn't just depending on external factors to push me to study. I made studying part of my daily routine, and it actually helped me change from just being a regular student, from just being an average student who used to get C, D, E, to becoming that student who gets A's, right? To becoming that top 10 student in my class, and it was really helpful. These tips are my personal tips that I incorporated in my life, and it was helpful. Talking about tracking my time, talking about the passive learning, changing from our passive learning to the active learning, changing my mindset, not just depending on motivation but on consistency and discipline, and also making studying part of my daily life. Drop it in the comment section which of these tips you are going to try right away, and what problem are you facing in your academics. I believe I can really help you. Drop it in the comment section and I will be glad to assist you go away from the problem. I will glad to assist you turn to an academic weapon in your class. And also, how are you able to cope up in the university? Like, can you drop your study techniques, your study tips? Because I believe it's going to be really helpful to a lot of students who are going to be watching this video and are going to read from the comment section. If you love this video and you wish to continue getting videos like this, helpful academic videos like this, please don't forget to hit on the red subscribe button, and also share these videos to your friends so that they can come here and get value, and in turn I'll feel motivated to continue dropping videos like this. Till I see you in my next video, always remember that you're wonderful, always remember that you're unique, and always remember that you're a peace setter. I really love you. Thank you.